Yeah, so thanks for joining the webinar today. There still might be some people joining, but the webinar is going to be made available on demand afterwards when the live recording is finished. I'll send an email afterwards to everyone with the live recording, so you can access this on demand on the cloud. And if your connection dropped out or anything, it's useful so you can have it afterwards, or if you want to review any of the details. Just note I've disabled Q&As for this webinar for purposes that everyone's web store is different and different customizations mean different requirements. So there would be a lot of question and answers because every web store is made differently. So any questions can be emailed directly to me afterwards. I'll open up a Q&A with everyone who's attended here, and yeah, I can answer all of your questions in time. So this webinar is about next gen e-commerce. So what is it? Effectively, it's the fastest web store experience that WebSell retailers can now give their customers. So we've reimagined the core WebSell web store experience by kind of redoing all the building blocks of WebSell web stores. You'll see on the demo when I get through to the live sites how much faster it is. Yeah, we focused on site speed and user experience as the main areas of focus. It's the biggest investment we've ever made to the front end WebSell experience. So it's a project that I've been working on for 2 years, and it's a new approach that we needed to develop when Google kind of announced new core web vitals and how key they would be in ranking websites going forward. So it basically, this is a reimagining of those web stores to give you better organic rankings, more traffic, and better sales as a result. So the main areas we focused on for the this upgrade is site speed and user experience, which leads to more conversion rates. We streamlined how easy it is to navigate your web store, and we vastly improved the checkout process as well. Created a much more streamlined process and a much faster way for users to check out. And just to note that next-gen e-commerce is a front-end upgrade only. So this is just how customers interact with your site. How you manage your web store on the back end is not changing at all. So this is just a front-end upgrade. So what we're delivering with next-gen e-commerce. Hyperfast web stores, as I mentioned, that is the main upgrade. That is what next-gen e-commerce delivers. Next-gen web stores deliver a hyper-fast user experience, site experience, meaning websites can load in just 1 second now, which is on average 1.2 seconds faster than the current WebSell stores. So we've redesigned and reimagined the checkout process. Buying from WebSell stores is much more user-friendly and much quicker now. The improvements will deliver real and measurable impacts on your bottom line, with an expected increase to conversion rates of 5.3% based on how quick websites now load. A new feature that we've added for new web stores that upgrade to next-gen e-commerce is the address finder and address autocomplete function. So this reduces friction with customers when entering their address on the checkout page. Your customers can now just start typing their address, and the address finder address autocomplete function will present a drop down for the customer to select, and they select it and it'll fill in all the other relevant details like zip code and country. I'll demo that fully on the when we get to the live demo portion. with the upgrade to next gen e-commerce, you also get branded emails, custom emails to match the new look of your web store. So that's the emails that your store is automatically sending. So your order confirmation emails, for example, or your welcome email. So these are, again, reimagined and redesigned emails to match your store's look and reflect the new, faster speed of your web store. And with your upgrade to next gen, you also receive early access to exciting new features coming in 2022. This is the most modern and the easiest web store experience that we have. So new features will be able to fit in easily with this new system. So early access is delivered for next gen customers. So moving on to, that's an overview of next gen e-commerce. Moving on to the live demo portion of it, I'll run through some sites. I'll run through 2 live next gen web stores. Floral Sundries is one site I will run through. They're flower supply company in the northeast of England, and then Fisher's, which is an Irish department store based in County Wicklow, another next gen web store that went live recently. I'll run through some features which are on our demo store environment, which reflects the kind of the cleanest version of the next gen e-commerce experience. And then on that demo store, I'll show what the address finder and address autocomplete functionality looks like. So one of the first next gen e-commerce sites we have here is Floral Sundries. This is what we've gone for is a totally clean design. Obviously, we focused on site speed from the outset, so clean design, simplistic is the way we've gone with it, and that's how modern web trends are going, and this is how you get a fast site according to Google. As you can see, they have an Instagram widget integration here, which is implemented on all pages, I believe. So homepage, category page, and product pages. When you get to the end, you're not just greeted with the footer. You have your Instagram integration here. Now they have a very active Instagram account, and it serves well for this business's purposes, where these are inspirational posts to help customers when they're shopping for obviously floral decorations. More on the technical aspects of the site. Utility classes are now being used across the site, so it's a more flexible and responsive design framework. So when browsing on a mobile device, you get the exact same experience. We do accessibility and SEO checks from the start of design, so there won't be any issues with regards to ADA compliance, or you won't find any SEO errors on your new site. We've have improved and simplified markup across the board, meaning you've got a cleaner and faster site, as well as a lot less front-end code to develop the site. And we also have now an in-house solution for mobile navigation instead of relying on a clunky JavaScript library. Just browsing through the site a bit. The speed at which you can move through homepage to product page is something we've addressed. So it's just a much quicker navigation experience. As I said, next gen web stores load in just 1 second, so 1.2 seconds faster than the average current WebSell site. We're expecting that to increase conversion rates, as I said, by 5.3%, but also a reduced bounce rate is to be expected, and we expect that 20% of site visitors will stay on your site for longer. browsing through to another next-gen site we have at the moment is Fisher's, as I said, Irish department store based in County Wicklow. These are more customized options, but again, still within the realms of the next-gen e-commerce templates. I'll actually add a few items to cart so we can go through to the checkout process, and I'll talk a bit more about that. As I said, we've redesigned these kind of the basket area and checkout areas. So first, you notice straight away on the checkout page, the products, your basket stays locked in place on the right-hand side as you fill in your information. This is a kind of a checkout process with steps now, rather than having one page where you're filling out all your information. You proceed through the processes of the checkout, rather than overwhelming the customer with all the information that they have to enter straight away. It's the stage process, helps them along through the journey, as well as having full visibility over the basket at all times. They might have second thoughts about an item at certain stages. Once they're seeing shipping calculated on the above items, they might realize they want to add or subtract items. When you're moving through the process, there's clearer visibility on payment options when checking out. So we have some vibrant logos for payment providers. I'll actually go through to the demo store. So this is a demo store set up for the next gen e-commerce sites. Just adding a few items to cart here. Again, we've redesigned this button, which is a much nicer pop-up that appears. So yeah, going through the checkout, we have express checkout options here. PayPal is integrated for this particular demo store. So clicking at that, we'd be brought through to our PayPal account, filling out all of our information there, and then we can express checkout pretty quickly. I'll actually go through and fill in my details. So I can demo the address autocomplete and address finder feature here. So we'll just use our US company address when entering this. So filling in our information, I can see here, this is the address I want. This is our company information. So when I click on that, it's filled in my country, the city, and the postcode, as well as the state. So a much easier way and a much nicer way for customers to verify their address at the checkout page straight away, so they know there's not going to be any issues with their address. So we have a nicer process here at the top. We're at the shipping stage of the checkout process here, but if I want to go back and edit any one of these, my contact information, my ship to information, maybe I've entered incorrectly or I'm not happy with what's appearing, just go back to edit, all my information stays available. I can just go back a step and edit that portion of it and then continue on. So with the address autocomplete and the address finder feature, it's a very nice feature for customers where you're just going to avoid failed deliveries. If there is an issue with customers entering their street, they can they can verify it straight away. And you reduce cart abandonment because you're reducing the friction at the customer level, because you're adding that extra stage of verification to the process. And you just improve your user experience overall by speeding up the checkout process. And yeah, so that's an overlook at next-gen e-commerce. Just going through to the page speed insights. So this is a page speed test of our next-gen demo store, just using Google's page speed insights tool. So you can see on desktop, we're getting a page speed score of 100, on mobile of 93. So, you know, very, very impressive site speed results. And site speed is very important for Google, because it wants to return on organic search ranking. It wants to return the fastest sites as possible to the front of it. As well, desktop and mobile site speed are both important. Google ranks very highly sites that have an impressive mobile speed score as well. As you can see, we're hitting that as well. Next-gen e-commerce sites also pass all of Google's core web vitals, which I spoke about briefly in the introduction. Again, high ranking factors for Google's organic ranking search criteria. Let's see, going back to the presentation. So yeah, that's an overview of next-gen e-commerce web stores. So what's next? If you're interested in upgrading, get in touch via your usual channels to discuss pricing and your upgrade timeline. We find developing sites on these new templates very fast. So I don't want to say you know, timelines based on give flat timelines based on your store, because every store is different. But from the design and front end perspective, without any too many customizations, we're finding development time very fast. So I would suggest getting in touch straight away if you have interest, because our design queue is filling up. One-to-one demos of next-gen e-commerce are available, so I can run through. Maybe it was a bit too quick for some people. This is quite a quick webinar, but I can go through one-to-one demos of next-gen e-commerce with any retailer. I can run through the existing sites I've previewed there, but I can go more in depth into maybe there's different aspects of the site which are more important for your store. I can dig in deeper on those. I'll follow up with all attendees after this. As I said, I'll send out a recording of the webinar so you can watch it on demand as you see fit, or send it to anyone in the company who might be interested. So yeah, thank you for joining me today for this webinar. As I said, I'll circulate it again afterwards, and any questions you have, you can follow up with me directly via my email address. I'm sure you have it in the webinar invite anyway. So thank you. Yeah, feel free to get in touch.